All right, good evening, everybody. It is time for another third round Swiss matchup here in the Zelda No Up+A tournament. We have a 2-0 showdown between KHANanaphone and Xarnax42. Hello, everyone. This is LZ Cards Fan 23, along with my partner Gary and Old Wolf. Well, looking at the two times here, KHANanaphone's been very consistent with his races. 32 minutes and 37 seconds is his race PB for the tournament, and he has averaged a 32:44. Xarnax42, meanwhile, his best race time is a 34:57 and has not been quite as consistent. He's got an average time of 36 minutes and 4 seconds. 32:44 is the average race time for KHANanaphone. Looking at his PB, he's got a 32:26 as his PB on speedrun. So if Xarnax42 wants a chance to beat KHANanaphone, he's pretty much going to have to run on PB pace. But as we've seen so far in the tournament, anything can happen, especially in those later levels.
Yes, all it can take is one death at the wrong time, or missing using the potion and dying because of that.
Yeah, no question about it. So even though on paper it does look like that KHANanaphone does have the clear advantage, especially with the fact that he does have a sub 30 as his PB, but this is a race situation. You only get one chance, and if you make a screw up, that's it, and your opponent can just sneak in there and take the victory away from you. So anybody's game, but these guys want to get to 3-0 because 4 wins will guarantee them a spot into the bracket stages. Otherwise, they'll have to hope that their time holds up to be one of the top spots to advance.
That's right, because from what I understand, it's 5-0 and 4-1 automatically make the bracket. Everybody else, it's based on average time for the 5 rounds of Swiss, which is why when somebody forfeit or when somebody doesn't show up, they still have to get a run in order to get a time.
Yeah, that's correct because they'll be assessed a full 1 hour run if they either forfeit or their run goes past the 1 hour mark. So yeah, it is very important to get. Even if you don't win your race, it is important to get as fast of a time turned in as possible.
And looking at the information I found when I was looking at it earlier, it looks like we'll probably see similar routes from the two, at least at the beginning. It looks like KHANanaphone's been running a 3-first red candle route and using the top route through level 3. And I believe that route is actually called a KHANanaphone route. And then Xarnax has been also running 3-first, but he's been doing the world record route, which is you kill the dark nuts in that first room with 3 dark nuts. And then he's been getting the blue candle.
That's correct. That is the world record route. So route wise, Xarnax42 does have the advantage, and if he can execute, there's no doubt in my mind he can compete in this race against KHANanaphone. So I'll be interested to see what happens. Definitely anybody's game, and definitely a big race for both of our competitors tonight.
And hopefully we'll be starting here in a little shortly. One of the runners had to do something quick right as we were getting ready to start. So what's something that you're looking forward to seeing in this match, Laws?
Well, I'm looking forward to see resource management because we've seen how both levels 4 and level 7 have come into play where you go through level 3, you get Troll Handler, you lose all your bombs, you don't get a bomb drop because of it, and then you end up going to level 4 and you have no bombs or you have a very short supply of bombs. So I'll be interested to see if resource management comes into play, particularly in levels 4 and 7.
Yes, and another thing with this run is they're not allowed to use Up+A on the second controller, which basically acts the same as taking a death. And in addition to that, one of the rules our tournament has is if you take a death on the overworld, you have to immediately return to that screen without going in any other caves. But if
Yeah,
you
that's
die,
right.
but if you die in dungeons, you only have to return to that room before you finish the run.
Yeah, that is the rules. It is similar to what you might see in Zelda 2 100% all keys. When you take a game over, you have to go back to the screen you game over on. So, yeah, we have a very similar rule here in this tournament. Hopefully, neither one of our players does take an unfortunate death. However, it is part of the Legend of Zelda sometimes, especially level 3, because you're going in there underpowered. You got 3 hearts, you got a wood sword, and you've got no ring. You're going to lose a heart every time you get hit by an orange dark nut and every time you get hit by Manhandla. Of course, another thing that could come into play: screen scrolling, how much your block clipping. We've seen that sometimes under the pressure, when you're down your last few hearts, that you tend to kind of panic. You try to get that move in, you don't want to die there. What they got to do is they got to remain calm. They got to race their race. I think if they can do that, I think both these players have a shot at emerging victorious here tonight.
There's the start in the IRC. Will be starting shortly here. The 10-second countdown has begun. Of course, there'll be a slight delay before you see it on screen.
Yep, that's right. We'll try to get everybody in sync, and we are officially underway.
Of course,
Looks like
both racers right away went for the wood sword like normal.
well, yeah, this is a vanilla race. This is not like a randomizer where they're going to be fighting for their lives trying to find that wood sword, Garion. I went ahead. It looks like Xarnax did get an earlier start, so now I've got them in sync right here. Both of them trying to do the screen scroll, and it looks like they are neck and neck right now as they enter into level 3.
Right, I have them going into the diagonal room, and looks like both of them. Oh, looks like Kanana is doing the top route, while Xarnax did get that bomb off the first Dark Nut.
Yes, indeed, we do see a divergence of paths. KHANanaphone is headed into the reverse C and into the horizontal shoot room. Meanwhile, Xarnax is doing the traditional route. He does have his 4 bombs. He'll get this key north of where these orange dark nuts are, and let's see how he decides to attack this room. If you bomb him, you can take him in one hit. He does get a set of bombs right there, so very well played, as does KHANanaphone. He gets 2 sets of bombs. Wow, very nice. Ooh, and an early death on Xarnax's side before he could pick up that raft, so he'll have to go back to the start, and that's going to put KHANanaphone in an early lead. This is exactly what could not happen to Xarnax in this race.
Bear with me a little bit here. I'm trying to adjust the stuff on the restream.
No problem at all. 150 is where I am currently residing on both of these runners. Just let me know if we need to make a change here. Now we see that they're going back through the horizontal shoot room is KHANanaphone. Meanwhile, Xarnax has to go back to this orange dark nut room. This time he does have full bombs, but he's got to go through this room again.
Alright, and it sounds like I'm about 5 seconds ahead of you.
You want me to fast forward?
I had actually sent you a link that should show both streams. That should be within a second of where I am.
Oh, perfect. All right. Sorry about that. Let me load that up, and we continue. We've got a Triforce capture for KHANanaphone.
Yep, and it looks like Xarnax just left the room where you pick up the raft. So KHANanaphone now will be heading over to level 4, which he has 1, 1, and 8. I know 8 bombs is a good number. I'm not sure about keys and rupee count because I'm not used to the 3 route. And Xarnax, looks like he's getting a little bit of a troll handle.
Yeah, and that's something you definitely don't want to see. The goal in a manhandless fight is to try and get what I like to call a bullseye, a one-hit KO of manhandle. If you could perfectly place your bomb on manhandle, you'll get a fresh set of bombs. But sometimes manhandle doesn't want to cooperate, and that's what leads to either not getting the bomb drop or a death.
Yep, and now it looks like Xarnax made it through that troll handle and got the Triforce. So now he's heading to level 4 as well, as KHANanaphone's dealing with the Virus right before the ladder. Okay, thank you, Steven, in chat. You say ideally they would want 5 or 6 rupees out of 3, especially with top route, but 0 to 1 is common. Were you able to get that, Luz?
No, I'm sorry. I am still having trouble. You're going to have to fly until it comes up for me. I'm getting nothing but a pulsating circle.
Okay, meanwhile, Xarnax is going into the NSU room with the Virus. Meanwhile, KHANanaphone just did the ladder clip, and it looks like he's heading up for the error key now. And now Xarnax is in, I believe this room is referred to as a breakfast room, with the pancakes, gels,
That's correct.
bubbles,
Yep.
and then as Angry Larry called them, I believe it was yesterday, or it might have been earlier today, the toast, which is the push blocks.
All right. I am sorry about the delay here. We're now 5 minutes and 30 seconds into the race, and that was a good Gleeok fight there by KHANanaphone. No refill at all, so he's off to a little bit of a lead here now on Xarnax.
Alright, so it sounds like we're pretty close to in sync now. I got 550 on Xarnax.
All right, perfect. So here we go. Xarnax going to make the bomb up to the north here so he can pick up this key. That, of course, is known as the error key. Gee, I wonder why it might be called the error key.
From what I understand, it was discovered and added to the route by Error 72, I believe the numbers are at the end of his name.
That is correct, and Xarnax, nice shot on those Vires to get a set of bombs. He's now got 5 bombs. Let's see how he does against Gleeok. Got to be careful. He is down to 2 hearts now. He's down to his final heart. You need 10 hits on the first head, 6 on the second. He's going to have to tread lightly, or he'll have to go back to the start of this level 4.
Ooh, and he makes it through.
That was a close call right there. I mean, he's already behind KHANanaphone, and that death would have put him several minutes behind, but he persevered through the fight. Does get his Triforce out of level 4. KHANanaphone now is into level 1. We saw him do a pirouette trick early at the beginning of this stage. You go into level 1 and you go out of level 1. There's a locked door to the north. When you do that trick, that locked door to the north in the first room will vanish, and that means you don't have to waste one of your valuable keys.
That's correct. And it's something that you only ever see it once in the vanilla run. It's a lot more useful in the randomizer, but you do use it for level 1 in vanilla.
Right you are. Now Xarnax is about to enter level 1 himself, and he'll do the same trick so he can get rid of this locked door as well. Both these players have the exact same number of bombs at 5. Let's see how KHANanaphone decides to handle the Aquamentus when he gets there. First, he'll grab this key. Hopefully not getting wall mastered. That's usually not going to be a problem for any competitor who does this. 6 hits it takes. He does the bomb strategy, and now he's got his heart container, and he'll get his 3rd Triforce piece here out of level 1.
And on his splits, which I'm able to see, he's about 12 seconds ahead of his PB, and his PB is just barely a sub 30.
Yes, that's correct. But however, that might be his race PB because he does actually have a 29.59.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and I just noticed his splits are against a 30-20.
Yep, and we see that Xarnax has picked up his bow, which of course is what you need not only to defeat Ganon later on, but also to defeat a Goma that you'll encounter in level 6. You also will have to purchase wood arrows. You're going to see these two players go on a shopping spree later on. It consists of 140 rupees, and you'll see those two items when we get to that part of the race.
And you mentioned before about the 6 hits for Aqua Menace. For those that don't know, bombs do 4 HP damage. So, by dropping a bomb, it means he only has to use 2 hits with the wood sword, compared to 6 hits if he didn't drop the bomb.
Yep, that's correct. Now with this raft, KHANanaphone is going to sail to pick up a heart container here in this coastal cave. You could either choose a heart container, which will increase the amount of health you have, or you can use a red potion, where it will enable you to refill your health twice, and you can pick it up without having to get the letter. That's in Northeast Hyrule.
And now it looks like KHANanaphone is following his red candle route, as it looks like he's heading towards level 2 now after doing the ladder clip.
And that was a very successful ladder clip indeed. That is how you do the screen scroll properly. And also, there's another one that you might see called the World Wrap, where they go from the western side of Hyrule to the eastern side of Hyrule, back on that coast where you pick up the heart container. And here's level 2.
And that's correct. And when they do get to the World Wrap, which I'm pretty sure both routes do use, I'm not completely positive on KHANanaphone's route, but I know the one that Xarnax is running, we will see it. What actually happens is when they wrap from the left side of the map, they actually move up a row 1 higher when they wrap around, because the tiles on the Hyrule map are actually numbered starting at 1 on the top left, while going across there's 16 tiles, but then 17 is the one right below 16. So when they're world wrapping, they're actually going back a tile, which will now then put them 1 tile higher.
Indeed. Now, nothing like getting a bomb drop from that Moldorm. Going up this level 2, we see Xarnax. He's going to take his 60 rupees and purchase this blue candle, which of course is what you need to burn the bush that is guarding level 8. You can either get the blue candle from that shop if you got 60 rupees, or you can pick up the red candle, which is the item in level 7.
That's correct. And one thing that picking up the red candle does is it does change your spawns in that level when you get to reverse C with the Wall Masters in, which we'll see that later on when we get to it.
Now, here's where the divergence of paths lies. Xarnax is now in level 5, which is a tricky level because you have these blue dartnuts to deal with. They have 8 hit points, and every time you get hit by them, you take 2 hearts of damage. Now, coming up, Xarnax is going to do a room that the Zelda community affectionately likes to call the Room of Requirement, because you've got 6 blue darknuts, and you have to take them all down in order to get the recorder out of this dungeon.
That's correct. And unlike the 2 first route that I'm used to, they usually go to level 2 after this route, so they're able to use more of their bombs up in this level. Which, again, bombs do 4 HP, so 2 bomb hits or 8 sword hits, or any combination in between.
Right, if you're doing a white sword route, they'll take 4 hits. If you've got the magical sword, which is a route I tend to do on my casual runs, they only go down in 2 hits.
That's right, which we'll see later on in level 8, because I believe both runners' routes do use the magical sword.
Yeah, you'd be correct. Xarnax clears that room, and he'll go ahead and pick up his recorder right there, which is, of course, good for transportation, but it is also required to get into level 7.
Correct, and it looks like KHANanaphone now is heading into level 5 himself.
Yep, and right now he's equipped with all 8 bombs, so he should be in pretty good shape. Xarnax42 has got his recorder. He's now going to take the staircase back, and just needs to be very careful dodging these blue dartnuts, because again, and he takes a bop right there. He's down to 1 heart. Xarnax in some trouble here.
That's correct. Now, one difference between the 2 routes is now KHANanaphone. He's going to be going to level 7 after he leaves level 5, and you need at least, I think it's 5 bombs is the bare minimum, but ideally you want to have 7 bombs when you go into level 7.
Right you are, Gary, and yes, 5 bombs is the minimum requirement. 7 is the ideal optimum amount that you want to have going into level 7, so KHANanaphone's either going to have to conserve his bombs, or he needs some well-placed bombs, or he needs some lucky bombs if he doesn't want to have to go through being short on bombs in level 7. So we'll see how he plays this out.
And one other thing I don't think we mentioned before is these blue dark nuts are not in the bomb dropping group. So if he manages to get a bomb to drop, it means that he had his 10 count in order to get a bomb drop. They are instead in the health dropping group that theoretically can drop you some health if you get bopped a few times while you're fighting them.
That's right, they'll tend to drop lots of hearts and fairies, and fairies, of course, restore 3 of your hearts. Now, Xarnax42 has to be careful in this fight against Digdogger. Let's see how he decides to play it. Double bomb or the 4 wood sword hits, because any hit from Digdogger, he's out.
That looks like he went for the double bomb option.
Smart
Ooh,
move.
Second bomb missed.
He missed! He missed! Now he really has to be
hits.
careful. Ooh, that was a costly miss right there. And there's one more hit left to go on Digdogger. Can he get him? He is being evasive as Digdogger. Ooh, now one more hit from this turret statue. He's out. Got him. Wow. That was a close call. Xarnax42 escaping with his life here in level 5. Digdogger decided to be a troll, but Xarnax42 was able to get the last 4 sword hits on him, and he is out of level 5 now.
That's correct, and now you'll see KHANanaphone, he just bombed one of the Dodongos, and now the other ones are being troll dongos. Yep. Bombs.
And all the bombs that he just got from the first Dodongo, he had to use on the second one. So now he's got to go against the third Dodongo to get his bombs back. And you get an extra bomb drop for clearing that room. So now KHANanaphone is in good shape with his bomb count. But that did cost him some time.
That's right. Now, based on something Cantaloupe just pointed out in chat, KHANanaphone actually plays on an emulator. Whereas most of the other racers tend to be on an actual console. I believe KHANanaphone is the only one with a sub 30 that plays on emulator.
Yeah, you're right about that. When you look at those records here, and I'm going to look at those records right now. Yeah, 2959, the top 10. He's the only one in the top 10 who uses an emulator. Everybody else above him, console.
But yeah, that's right. And Loud Goat just pointed out in chat, Saber's also up there, and he's emulator as well. But he's not actually on the speedrun.com leaderboards. But his time is up in that range. I'm not sure what the time is. Maybe Loud Goat can tell us what it is.
Yeah, because I know certain emulators that you run actually run slightly slower than what you would get on a console, because emulators can run at between 59.9 and 60.1, but I do believe, if I remember correctly, I think NAS emulators run on 60.1 something frames per second, I believe.
I believe it's 60.09 something.
Yeah, 60.09, that is correct. Yes, I rounded
now
it.
We
Now
see KHANanaphone doing the new recorder route, and also the tricorder going into the Armos shop.
Yep, that was perfectly done.
The tricorder makes it so that the time it takes the guy selling the meat in that shop to spawn, it causes that time to not take as long. And then the recorder, I'm not completely sure how that works. I've heard them talking about it. It's still a relatively new trick, but it tricks the game as to where the recorder is going to take you to.
Yep, that's right. Here in 2018, we're still discovering a trick that's a 32-year-old game. We're still discovering newer and newer strats as we go along. Using candle strats is Xarnax against this Moldorm, and a nice fight right there, and he gets a 5 rupee as well. He's got enough money to purchase the wooden arrows and the bait. The bait is required to feed the hungry gorilla here in level 7, while the arrows are what you need for the bow to take down Goma in level 6, which will follow right after level 7 for both of our runners.
That's correct. And the arrows, for those that run the wood sword routes, get used in this room here, this river room, with the 3 Gurias and 3 keys. Because,
Nice, he got a lucky bomb drop, and he gets the maximum bombs now for Dodongo.
right, and this wooden arrows actually do the same amount of damage as a white sword, which is why you'll see the runners use wood arrows in the river room.
Indeed, the silver arrows, which you'll see in level 9, they do the same amount of damage as the magical sword, or 4 hit points of damage. As we've got the Hungry Guria, KHANanaphone's got his bait, so he can proceed in level 7.
Now we see Xarnax, he's heading towards to do his shopping now. Unlike KHANanaphone, it looks like he's not doing the Rook Order.
No. And KHANanaphone gets his red candle here in level 7. Again, that'll enable him to burn the bush down to gain access to level 8, which we'll see later on. Now, the blue candle, you can fire it on the screen once, and that's it. If you want to fire it again, you have to go to a different screen. With the red candle, you can fire it as many times as you want, but 2 shots can only be on the screen at the same time before you can fire it again. But you can use it unlimited times on that screen.
That's correct. And we're going to see here in a little bit where the bubbles spawn in the reverse C room with the Wall Masters, which, if I remember the spawns correctly, he'll have 1 spawn on the bottom row, which we'll see then when Xarnax gets to that screen, that the bubbles will not spawn there. He'll have a better spawn. That's one of the dangers of using the red candle.
Speaking of dangers, KHANanaphone took a risk of getting extra bombs from that Dodongo, which he had to do, and it paid off. Had he missed on that shot, he would have to go back to that one room that had a bunch of blue Gurias and full clear to get a set of 4 bombs.
That's correct. There's actually 2 rooms that I know of off the top of my head that are good for bombs in this level. One is the room that Xarnax just came through with the blue Gurias at the beginning, and then the other one is the one that you mentioned closer to where KHANanaphone is, the other room of all blue Gurias.
Right now, it's a reasonably close race. They're both into level 7. This is where the paths converge again, and way this is going, we'll see if KHANanaphone decides to buy a red potion, because if he does, I would imagine he'll be in good shape to win this race. If he doesn't, he's taking a chance here.
That's correct. As we saw the other day, not having a potion can end up costing you if you take a death in level 9.
Because you can lose several minutes depending on how deep you take that death. And not only that, every time you start level 9 again, you only start with 3 hearts. That's not a lot of hearts, considering that Wizrobes do, the orange ones, that is 4 hearts of damage.
That's correct. And neither runner has a ring at all, so they will take full damage if they get hit.
Xarnax right now has plenty of bombs. He already has the blue candle, so he does not need to go behind this diamond staircase to get a red candle. So with 5 bombs in hand, let's see how he does against Digdogger coming up in this next room. On KHANanaphone's side, go ahead.
KHANanaphone is picking up the magical sword, which does 4 times the amount of damage that the wood sword does.
Yes, indeed. So you're going to see many of these enemies go down in no time. Those blue darknuts that you saw that took 8 hits with the wood sword, they go down in 2 hits with the magical sword.
And this time for Xarnax, the Digdogger cooperated, and both of his bombs were able to hit it, and thus he didn't have to sword it this time like he did in level 5.
And this is the spawn you're talking about with the bubbles. You get that very favorable spawn where one of those bubbles just stays a cloud of smoke until pretty much after you full clear the room. That's pretty nice.
And it looks like KHANanaphone made it through the belfry with sword beams still.
That's tough to do because you want to keep as many hearts as you can for these Wizrobes. Because again, they do pack a punch. 2 hearts for a blue Wizrobe beam, 4 hearts for the orange.
That's correct. And this is another room that's referred to as the magical breakfast room that you have. I'm not really sure where the Wizrobes fall in terms of food reasons of why it's called that, but you have the pancakes and then the toast in there.
Well, some people call the Wizrobes toast. I've called them sausage before, so take your pick.
And KHANanaphone may have gotten a little unlucky there, he had his 10 count come up while he was killing the Vyres. I'm not sure what his global count was, but it may have taken away one of his bomb chances.
Yeah, either he had miscounted or he got hit by a bubble and that cost him a bomb. Does get a clock in the second magical breakfast room, but not before he took a hit from an orange wizard. Nonetheless, his health count is still pretty good.
Okay, and Loud Goat just said in chat, wizards are the magic in the magic breakfast rooms.
I mean, I get that because, you know, they shoot magical beams at you that do a lot of damage. Another clock drop for KHANanaphone. Plus, he gets a bomb drop from those Vyres, so now he's back to the maximum 8 bombs.
And meanwhile, Xarnax did not get any bomb drops in that first Wizrobe room, which is unfortunate because that's the reason you kill those Wizrobes, is to try and get a bomb drop.
And he's in trouble because I believe you need 2 bombs in this dungeon in order to progress.
Yeah, I'm not completely sure on that one. I usually have enough bombs when I go through it myself, so I've never really paid attention to how many I actually use.
Yeah, he's only got 1 bomb right now. Just 1 bomb. Okay, so Xarnax is in good shape, but still, he'd probably like to have more bombs, you know, in case, you know, we get to level 9. Because level 9, you're going to need a lot of bombs going into that, and otherwise you're going to have to take down Petra 1.
That's correct. And we see now, KHANanaphone's going into level 8 here. He's going to be coming up on what's known as the first Blue Lagoon. And it's called that because there's a lot of lag in that room due to the number of Darknuts and the BMO statues in the 4 corners.
Boy, Xarnax42 getting absolutely hosed by the RNG. No bomb drops from those Wizrobes. And yeah, you got to have at least 2 bombs in level 8 because you have to bomb north from where that Manhandla is, and you have to bomb east from north of coming out of that spiral staircase to get into the Gliok room.
Oh no, he got the 5 rupee drop, which means he was at a 10 count, because Vyres are in the bomb dropping group and do not drop a 5 rupee unless you have a 10 count without using a bomb to kill them.
So Xarnax in a little bit of trouble here as he comes out of level 6 with plenty of health, but no bombs to his name.
He's gonna need that blue Octo Rock underneath level 2 to be nice to him. If not, he's gonna end up having to farm.
Yeah, that is tough, but again, Xarnax42 is definitely still in this race, because again, level 9 is coming up, and we have seen races flip-flop because of how ruthless level 9 can be.
And we got information in chat that Cantaloupe is on a 31 pace.
Yeah, Cantaloupe says that KHANanaphone's on a 31 pace, which would be a really, really good pace for a Zelda race. In fact, we saw the world record get taken down earlier this week by Darkwing Duck, posted a 29:31. Xarnax does get 2 bomb drops from the Blue Moblin, so now he's back in business as he goes to level 8. But KHANanaphone just got the Triforce out of level 8, so now he'll be eligible to go into level 9.
That's correct. And he only has 2 keys, and it looks like he's not going for the race potion. So,
Indeed, he's not. So KHANanaphone's going to go for it. He is going to go for it. And right now, that potion could come into play. We'll see if Xarnax decides to take the potion, because it may be his only chance to win this race at this point. He's going to need to hope KHANanaphone takes a death here.
That's correct. And because KHANanaphone only has 2 keys here, he's going to have to kill that first room where you drop the bomb in order to get a key.
Right, but it's a pretty simple room. It's just nothing but pancakes and Zols, so it's nothing too. It's not too much for KHANanaphone to handle.
That's right. And I think most runners do actually route it that they end up having to kill that room.
Yeah, in fact, Xarnax also has the same 2 keys, so I believe he's going to do the same method, clear that room, and he'll go up to 3 keys. Now, Xarnax got to be a little bit careful here. He's only got 3.5 hearts. Your magical sword will take down the 4-headed Gliok in 9 hits. 3 for the first head, 2 for the other 3. But that's not a lot of health, because again, you're still losing 1 heart every time you get hit, so Xarnax needs to tread carefully.
That's right. Although this Gliok, despite having more heads, tends to feel harder than the Gliok you face in level 4, because you have more health, but you also do more damage per hit.
Indeed, and Xarnax made that Gleeok fight look very, very easy as he picks up his final Triforce piece. Now he'll be eligible to go into level 9, and we'll see what kind of strategy Xarnax has. Is he going to just go into level 9 right away, or is he going to pick up the potion in the hopes that KHANanaphone will goof?
Meanwhile, KHANanaphone managed to get a bomb drop in that next room.
That's very nice because now he'll have some extra bombs to work with in the reverse C room that guards the silver arrows, which are needed to slay the beast.
And I don't believe Xarnax went for the potion either.
Nope, he's not going for the potion either, so he's going to have a very, very picture-perfect level 9. And again, and taking a couple of bop stairs, KHANanaphone, he still has 8.5 hearts left, but we'll see what happens in reverse C.
Right, plus that Patra will still be there when he comes out of that staircase.
And the bubble's already given KHANanaphone the business. He's going to use bombs. He does get a bomb drop from that orange Wizrobe, so now he's back up to 5 bombs. He just has one more Wizrobe to go. He got him.
And he has 2 more bombs than he needs to finish the level.
So that was a pretty good reverse C room right there. He still has 6.5 hearts to his name as he picks up the silver arrows. Xarnax here has just started level 9 here, and he's, again, right now, he needs KHANanaphone to make some mistakes here, but right now, it doesn't look like he's making those mistakes.
But the biggest thing is the amount of health he has because of dealing with Patra.
That was a clutch
Patra
clip.
does, like, I think it's 2 damage per hit.
Correct. Just took a bop right there. That was a good diamond staircase block clip coming back with the Wizrobes to deal with. That is a very difficult clip to do under pressure, and KHANanaphone made that look easy.
Yes, and Xarnax just did a great Patra 1 skip as well. I don't believe he took any damage.
Yeah, that is very hard.
That 1 heart.
Yeah, that is very hard to do, to go through Patra 1 without taking any damage. Let's see how he does against these Wizrobes. KHANanaphone is at 4.5 hearts, so at the moment he can withstand a high roll driver. A high roll driver or a Ganon hug, you lose 4 hearts every time you touch his body, so right now he's in pretty good shape.
And he's heading to Patra 3 now.
Patra 3, the one that has the very weird shaped pattern, not the expanded Patra, but the kind of circular one that kind of weaves. Oh, and he took a bop there. Now he's in danger of being high roll driver. He's at 2.5 hearts. His Ganon fight's going to have to be dead perfect, and he cannot afford to take another bop from this Patra, because if he gets down to half heart, anything that hits him, and he gets a fairy. Oh!
And meanwhile, on the other side, Xarnax managed to force a bomb on the Zols coming out of that staircase, which I believe he had to do because he was low on bombs.
That's 1 hit on Ganon. We need 4 hits to take down the beast. He's down to 4.5 hearts. There's 2, 3. Oh! That was really close to a high roll driver. KHANanaphone does indeed, though, take down Ganon. Got the Triforce of Power. We've got Bacon, and KHANanaphone is going to be 3-0 in the tournament. Let's see those GGs
out in chat. KHANanaphone finishes with an official SRL time of 31:48.
A very, very good race there for KHANanaphone. That it does represent a race PB for this tournament. So congratulations, KHANanaphone played a very good race, and boy, that literally came down to pixels, Garion.
Yes, it did. Meanwhile, now Xarnax is heading through one of the rooms with the like-likes in that can really catch you sometimes. Every once in a while, those like-likes get hungry like that one.
Yep, going into the all-you-can-eat pancake buffet, but that's not what you want to do in this game. Xarnax right now, he's in pretty good shape to turn in a race PB for this tournament. His best time so far in the tournament is 34 minutes and 57 seconds. So at the moment, provided he doesn't take a death, he's going to get a race PB out of this.
And one thing I just saw Xarnax do there, you see a lot of runners will take the damage boost from the uh, traps, but he was able to get through without taking any damage there.
That's important because right now he's at 9 hearts. Provided he has a Patrifite where he doesn't take any damage, he can withstand 2 high roll drivers. But no, he's going to go whole hog against this Patra, and all of a sudden now he's in danger of being high roll driver. He's down to 3 hearts.
Right. He went for what's considered a fast strat on Patra, but it didn't end up working out.
All right, so here we go. One more time. Here's Ganon. We need 4 hits, and we cannot get high roll driver here. There's 1. 2. He got the good pattern. 3. No, he did not get the stun lock.
There he is.
Slipped out of his fingers. There's the 4th hit. We've got more bacon. Another Triforce of Power picked up, and Xarnax looks like he's going to finish sub 34 and have his best time of the tournament, just not good enough tonight.
Looks like his official SRL time is 34:01. Get those GGs out in chat.
Yep, so a 34:01, a very respectable time for Xarnax. It's the best time he has turned in this tournament by 56 seconds.
Let's see if we can get them in here for an interview. Oh, I think we have KHANanaphone in chat.
If my mic works.
Yeah, we can hear you, KHANanaphone. Congratulations on your victory. You are now 3-0 in the tournament, and another very respectable time you've put up in the tournament. Boy, I tell you what, you almost bought the farm on that Ganon fight.
No,
you were lifted pixels.
I was fine.
Were you fine? I know you were fine, but you were close.
Bunch of lies.
And nonetheless, you did prevail in this race. Xarnax finished with a 34:01. You had a 31:48. Very, very good time by you, KHANanaphone. Go over this run with us. You played pretty well. I think the only you didn't have too many problems, but to go over this.
Okay. So the first 4 levels are all like quite smooth. Not too much to say. Level 5 basically I did pretty much no damage to the Dark Nuts, so I was in there for like forever sorting. In level 7, usually in races, I'll just kill the blue gorillas to get my bombs up to 8. But I forgot. So usually what I do is bomb the Dongos later on in 7 instead of going down to 0.
Yeah, that was a very dangerous spot you were at. You were down to, I believe, 1 bomb, and if you would have missed that
the
shot...
first one missed. Usually I won't do that in a race. And I won't do that if they start acting funny, but they both walk straight towards each other. Then they both turn, so they got me there.
Yeah, the Dodongo is in level 5. They didn't want to cooperate with you either. The first one you did fine, but then the second one...
That was my fault. I placed it wrong.
Bad placement, Sal. That can happen sometimes. But, hey, yeah, you did prevail. It was a very solid race. And, yeah, that first half was pretty sparkling by you. So, congratulations. You are now 3-0 in the tournament, which means 1 more victory, and you're guaranteed a spot in the bracket stages. So, got to feel pretty good about your chances here.
I like it. I'm feeling good.
That was a good run for you.
Xarnax42 also in the commentator's booth with us. Yeah, pretty good run. This was a PB for you in this tournament by almost a minute. And in spite of taking the early death in stage 3, you put together a pretty solid run. Just wasn't enough this time around.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying KHANanaphone's round was great. Yeah, I mean, 31 and change is not something I'm going to be able to compete with on my best day. So, yeah, that was a weird run. A lot of things that I felt good about, though.
Yeah, your level 9 was pretty darn good, I must say. So I mean, it was an exceptional job. You did stumble upon a little bit of bomb trouble in level 6. You got hosed big time by the RNG. No drops from the orange whiz robes, no drops from the Vires. It was a tough go for you. So you had to farm some bombs, but luckily the blue moblins helped you out there.
Yeah.
And now that puts you at 2-1. How do you feel about the possible opponents you have in the 2-1 bracket with all the names that are in there?
It's gonna be rough. I know I was watching Unos and Lack yesterday, so one of them had to lose, and one of them's in the 2-1 bracket now.
And you also have Breasticle in there, and I'm on the wrong page here to see 2-1s. You got names like RC Drone, Breasticle, Unos,
Yeah.
J Coper, Error, Fred. That's just some
Yeah,
of the names.
it looks like I'll probably be in the bottom half of the 2-1s, so I'll probably get paired up with one of those people who are averaging sub 32. So if I can pull off another win in this tournament, I'll be pretty satisfied.
Looks like one of the 3-0s will play a 2-1 also. Is there 7?
I see 6, unless somebody.
So you're not including
race
KHANanaphone.
together.
He's the 7th 3-0.
Oh, okay, there it is. I hadn't
Yeah,
refreshed
just refresh.
since yesterday.
All right, so congratulations on a very good race, KHANanaphone. You're 3-0, Xarnax42. You are 2-1. Both of you very much alive in the Swiss tournament here. A couple more wins for Xarnax. You will be in the bracket stages. KHANanaphone, you just need one more win to automatically guarantee yourself a spot in the bracket stages. So best of luck to the both of you in your next race. And Garion, do you have any other questions for our competitors tonight?
No, I don't have any other questions I can think of.
All right, sounds good. GG to the both of you. Have yourselves a great evening. Great race between the both of you. And again, wish you the best of luck in your next race, week 4 of the Swiss.
Thanks
All
for that.
right.
Thanks for the restream. Thanks for the commentary. Thanks for the race. GG.
GG.
All right, so that is going to do it. And I do believe that concludes our third week of the Swiss matches here in the Legend of Zelda Any Percent No Up+A tournament. We've got 2 more weeks left to go. That means all of our runners have 2 more chances to make a good impression in the tournament and make it to the bracket stages. So a lot of big names are going to be fighting off against each other. So look for the schedule to come out real soon. We're going to have a lot of exciting races. I'm looking forward to that, Garion.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. I'm hoping I'm in this tournament as well, and hoping I don't have too tough of a match, seeing some of the times that are being put up in this.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, Gary, and the rest of your matches coming up in the tournament. And it was great doing commentary with you.
Yeah, it was great to have you in here.
Appreciate it, and I hope to be back again soon. So that's going to do it for us tonight. On behalf of our 2 runners, KHANanaphone and Xarnax42, make sure you give them both a follow. And on behalf of my commentator partner and restreamer, Gary Wolf, make sure you give him a follow as well. I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23. Have yourselves a great night, and we will see you again next time. So long, everybody.
Have a good night, everybody.